Disclaimer: the stories and content shared on this channel are works of mythology, folklore, and creative storytelling intended purely for entertainment and educational purposes. They do not represent factual events, advice, or instructions to be followed in real life. Viewers are encouraged to enjoy these tales with imagination and discretion. The creator of this channel is not responsible for any misunderstanding, misuse, or harm that may result from the interpretation of this content.
Welcome, seekers of stories. If you're new here, this is the place where myths, legends, and forgotten tales come alive. And to our returning subscribers, thank you for walking this journey with us once again. If you enjoy stories filled with mystery, power, and life lessons that linger long after they're told, make sure to hit subscribe, tap the like button, and share this with friends who love epic tales. The story is The Garden That Ate Dreams.
In an old city where most people had left long ago, a strange story was sometimes told to children at bedtime. It was about a hidden garden, locked away behind a twisted gate of thorns. The story said the garden was the most beautiful place in the world, always in bloom, but it held a dark secret. The flowers there didn't grow from seeds and sunlight, they grew from people's dreams. One evening, a traveler named Potter walked the empty streets of this city. Potter was tired, not just from his long journey, but from the heavy weight of his own life. Every mistake he'd ever made, every person he'd ever lost, and every sad memory felt like a stone in a sack he carried on his back. He was so focused on this weight that he didn't notice where he was going until he felt a strange pull, a gentle tug in his mind, leading him down a path overgrown with weeds. There, at the end of the path, was the thorny gate from the stories. As if it knew he was there, the gate slowly creaked open, inviting him in. The moment he stepped inside, the air felt different, warm, thick, and smelling of night flowers and sweet rain. The garden was filled with the most incredible flowers he had ever seen. They glowed with a soft, inner light of purple, silver, and deep gold. Each petal was like colored glass, and inside them, tiny scenes flickered and danced like movies. He saw faces he didn't know, places he'd never been. These were the memories of others. He felt drawn to one particular flower, a simple, blue one. As he got closer, he gasped. Trapped inside the glowing petals was a memory from his own childhood. He saw himself as a little boy, safe in his mother's arms, her laugh echoing like a warm bell. He could almost feel her hug and smell the bread she was baking. The flower seemed to sense his longing and pulsed with a brighter, hungrier light. Suddenly, he couldn't move. He looked down and saw thick, green vines had silently slithered up from the ground. They wrapped firmly around his ankles and wrists, holding him in place like soft, strong ropes. All around him, more flowers bloomed open, and each one showed him a memory he treasured. He saw the face of his first love, laughing in the sunlight. He saw himself with old friends, sharing stories around a campfire. He saw the thrill of discovering something new. The garden was eating his past. He felt a strange, warm pulling sensation. One by one, his happiest memories began to lift from his mind and body. They looked like shimmering threads of light, drifting through the air and being absorbed by the hungry flowers. As each memory left him, the heavy sack of burdens on his back felt lighter, but a cold, hollow feeling started to grow in his chest. He was becoming empty. He tried to fight, to pull away, but the vines only tightened their grip. A part of him wanted to give up. What if I just let it take everything? He thought. Without these memories, maybe the pain will finally go away. Just then, a new flower opened before him. This one showed him his greatest regret, a time he had been unkind to a friend and had never apologized. The garden began to pull this memory, too. But as it started to fade, Potter realized something shocking. The pain of that memory was important. It had taught him to be a better person. It reminded him to be kind. His memories, the good and the bad, the happy and the painful, were not just stories. They were the building blocks of who he was. To lose them wasn't to be free, it was to be nothing at all. A new strength surged through him. He wouldn't let this beautiful monster erase him. With a powerful roar, he ripped his arm free from the vines, feeling thorns tear at his skin. The garden seemed to scream, the flowers flashed with an angry, red light, and the vines whipped at him like snakes. He ignored the pain and threw himself toward the gate, stumbling and falling, but always crawling forward. He tumbled through the gateway just as it slammed shut behind him with a sound like stone grinding on stone. Potter lay on the dusty road outside, gasping for air and trembling. He looked back at the garden. It was quiet again, glowing peacefully under the moon, as if nothing had happened. Its flowers shimmered, holding his stolen memories alongside those of countless others who hadn't escaped. He was alive, but he wasn't the same. He tried to picture his mother's face from that happy memory, but now, where her smiling eyes should have been, there was just a blurry, empty space. The garden had taken pieces of him he could never get back. But it had left him with the most important truth of all. Our lives are made of everything we experience, the joy and the sour alike. They are what make us human. To erase them is to erase ourselves. And so the garden waits, beautiful and cruel, for the next tired soul. It stands as a timeless warning that sometimes, the price of forgetting is much, much higher than the pain of remembering.